as I was saying in the last video, again, if this video stops, look in the comments feature of this YouTube video. Do DJs and people who host radio broadcasts see, there's many ways that through the technological capabilities of organized gang stalking and their surveillance that happens to an organized gang stalking target, they're literally able to ascertain what a target is doing at all times. Targets of this crime who are true bona fide targets of this crime and remote neural monitoring, electronic harassment, and organized gang stalking expeditions know this as a fact. It's a factual reality. And as a result of them ascertaining what radio station a target might be listening to in the morning, this is the AM dial, between 7 and 9. Okay? As a result of them knowing what a target is listening to, would they solicit a person who does a radio show to engage in organized gang stalking direct conversation tactics? Okay? And why would they do this? Because the whole goal is to make sure that the target is constantly thinking in their terms in reference to what they're doing towards a target. Okay? And would they use a radio broadcaster, a person who's doing a radio show, to engage in direct conversation tactics that are tailored within what they're broadcasting? Yes, would they? Because they sensitize targets to direct conversation tactics, which are words, phrases, and types of comments that are directly associated to how a target's been sensitized to these words or phrases. Look in the comments feature of this YouTube video for YouTube titles that you can copy and paste into YouTube. That will show you the videos that this one came from. My video camera keeps getting shut down at this location. Okay? Now, the reason why they do this, if they do this, is for what is known as entrained, since the target has already been sensitized to these words, comments, and phrases, is to make sure that a target is constantly thinking about, okay, what they're doing in reference to how they're deliberately doing it and using anybody in the community to do it. And what am I talking about? Direct conversation tactics. When a target is sensitized to specific words, phrases, or types of commentary, they have an emotional response, a neural response, that brings them back to the responsible party of who sensitized them to these words to begin with. Okay? And it's like if you know how like when you hear a song and you think of an old loved one or a family member or old significant other, whether it be a brother, a son, a mother, a father, an ex-lover, an ex-husband, ex-wife, whatever, you hear a song and you're automatically brought back to a memory. Well, this is what entrained anchored responses are about in organized gang stalking expeditions that are brought about through direct conversation tactics. They sensitize you to words, phrases, and themed statements, okay, that will make you remember, okay, how you've been sensitized to it and why you were sensitized to it in reference to the responsible parties. Will they use people in the broadcasting industry to do this? Alright, I already made a video. Look in the comments feature of this YouTube video and you'll clearly be able to see that other targets went to a website that you can file legal complaints on. And within their complaints, they made these statements about how people that, of a radio station they were listening to, they were truck drivers, a couple, and they were listening to this radio station, and the person who got on the radio was engaging in direct conversation tactics for them to hear. Because it's all about undermining your psychology about how can so many people be in on these organized gang stalking expeditions? How can they get this to be done? You know, how is it possible to get this to be done? And this is literally what I'm talking about. Look in the comments feature of this YouTube video, or YouTube title, that will lead you to this website where I found this legal complaint by a couple who is subject to organized gang stalking, and they literally said that as they were listening to the radio, what was broadcast on the radio was directly associated to what was happening to them in reference to the statements that were being broadcast. So, I listen to KOCO every morning, 7 to 9 on the AM dial. Anybody that plays any kind of role in direct conversation tactics towards any organized gang stalking expedition target, I'm going to expose you as much as I can. And the whole reason, part of the reason why they do this is to stimulate the entrained anchored response that the target has. Remember when I was talking to you about how if you listen to an old song, you remember, okay? One of the reasons why they do it is not only to stimulate the anchored response, but to also try and provoke a target to possibly make a video about it. So viewers will think they're crazy, and so the legal establishment that they're infested in can call them crazy concerning the statements they're making about what they're actually experiencing. And this is part of the organized gang stalking expeditions. My name is Leslie Williams. This is a book I got yesterday. Okay? Electronic torture, electronic rape. That has to do with the phantom touch. That's directly mentioned in the remote neural monitoring file. Go to Freedom from Covert Harassment and Surveillance, their webpage, and look at the bottom of the webpage. Now, radio signals are used in 75% of the technological capabilities that are brought about towards a target. Now, I've never had to go to Google and type in DJs or people who do radio shows, because I've never really had the need to do it. But I'm not making this video for no reason. I wake up every morning and I listen to KOCO 79 on the AM dial. Anybody who engages in organized gang stalking expedition, direct conversation tactics, in order to be able to solicit and stimulate anchored responses of a target who might be listening to a radio station, okay, is going to be exposed. And I don't give two shits about who you are, who you think you are, who you're connected to, or how protected you believe you are. I'll embarrass the shit out of you. My name is Leslie Williams. This video is for mature audiences only. And the only way that you're going to be able to literally see the truth of the statements that I'm making is to do thorough investigative research in reference to these statements. And once you do, if you spend the time on it, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Directed energy weapons, Sue Easy account. Go to the Sue Easy and look under directed energy weapons complaints. And you'll find the truck drivers who made this complaint about